So welcome back, and here we are in story art class. First, let me show you the finished giant bug.
Oh, good.
See if I can get my camera
You
spotlight.
did. Wow.
Whoa, there we go. A little bit blue because of our lighting, but
Wow. Did you do that with colored pencils?
yeah, these are colored pencils.
Wait, that's not supposed to be blue?
It's got, well, yeah, but you see how the paper isn't white?
Oh, okay.
So, like, there's a little bit of color shift, but in general.
Yeah, it's like, wait, that paint
Excellent.
isn't supposed to be
Excellent.
blue.
Yeah, it came out pretty good. So good ideas, guys.
I like that you got the, wow, you got the jungle and everything in there.
I just accidentally got his head too big again, but by then it was in ink and I couldn't do anything about it.
Oh, thanks. So that looks terrific.
There's my piece for the art show. Everybody else better have a piece for the art show.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
I'm doing a class with a friend about the color wheel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the dang woman gave us homework. I have to do a monochromatic seven
Steps, 7 values.
values.
Yeah.
And she's going to count them, she says.
She's going to count them.
She's going to count them. She taught high school art for 40 years. So
Wow.
she actually got it in my brain now what the color wheel is now.
Excellent. Well, that'll be all about then. Yeah. So we were talking about thumbnails.
Street.
So here's my idea for my demo for today. So we're going to figure out how do we go from this, and then we go get our references. So I got some references, right? A little girl, except instead of a pony, she's going to be on a panda. I might give it wings and a horn just to make the panda more magical. And I wanted her in a market street. So here's like some vendor booths. I want a castle in the background. That's what that lump is, right? In the background, it looks kind of like a cloud. That's going to be a castle. So there's maybe a castle. And maybe some flags hanging down the way there's some flags hanging there. So some ideas. So you got your references, right? You have your idea. Now what? That's what we're going to learn today. Now what? So I was talking about how references are all about shapes. We're going to be stealing shapes. So when I go to my references and I get a piece of paper, is this one? Sure. In here. So here's a reference I took of a booth. Shapes. So what am I looking at? I'm looking at the canopy, which is basically triangle, right?
Are we drawing with you, Betsy?
You can draw with me or you can just watch and learn. That's up to you. This is kind of the me just showing you what we're going to be doing part. So I've got that tent part, and then we need something to hold up the tent, so I probably need some rods in here. And then a counter to put on the goods, right? So then part of your research is, okay, well, these rods, do they go on the outside of the counter? Do they go on the inside of the counter? Do they go in the middle of the counter? This one has them near the inside. I don't really like that, so I'm just going to put mine on the outside. But I want a counter space, right? So I can't just stop there. I have to give it thickness. If I wanted it to continue all the way in an L shape, I could do that too, but I don't want to. And I also like these hanging gourd thingies. So just from the top here, I might hang a couple of shapes. Overlapping's your friend. Use it. So there's a shape I like. Any other shapes I like? Oh yeah, and I also like these little like bins for holding things. So I'm going to steal some of those shapes too. They're basically wedges. So I'm not drawing these like connected or like in a scene. These are more like vignettes. We know what vignettes are. Little separate drawings that don't have borders. So it's got a hole in here, right? How do we cut things into an object, we have to put an interior line to show that it's cut out. And now I've got my little bin. What else do I have here? Let's zoom out. More shapes. So these have poles that stop before they get into the counterpart. So maybe I want one stall like that. So I'll just sketch, this is the shape I want, where it has a hole that goes into the counter. Don't worry about perspective or anything else. You're just taking the idea and the shapes. And these ones have a little bit of a lip where the board comes out farther than the rest of the stall. Making sense so far? I'm just taking little notes. And this is what I want. This is what I want. I like the frame hanging in front with all these goods, so I might stick that on and just say there's a cage right here. Not a cage, but like a wire grid. The things hanging on it. Overlapping. And then those flags going across that I wanted in my thumbnail are going more toward us. So I'm going to take the idea of those, sketch it out. My line, whoops, let's darken my camera so you can see what I'm doing. And then I'll put, these are square flags. I think I kind of like those. I'll put these little square flags on. I'm not thinking about perspective or anything. I'm mostly just putting them on the string. So whichever way the rope or the string that they're attached to is facing, that's the way I'm going to put the bottom of the flag.
Thank you. That was my question.
You might get it up here where it's really slanted. That's okay, just slant it. Just make it all slanted.
But the sides stay parallel, right?
Yep, we're gonna keep these parallel and that'll be fine. So now my castle in my reference is completely opposite to the way I want it to be. This is looking down on a castle, like you're flying on a dragon looking down. I want it the opposite way, like they're standing on the ground looking up at this castle. So what good is this reference to me? Shapes, always the shapes. What shapes do we see? Round shapes, cylinder towers. We see the pointy shapes of the rooftops. We see the square shapes in between all these cylinders, all these walls that are more angular. So like for me, I'm thinking of a wall like this, and the market is right down here. And the wall's a little shorter so you can see up to the castle. So I'm just going to take these ideas of cylinder, block, triangle, and I'm just going to flip the perspective. So if I back up here and practice a little bit with that, cylinder, instead of seeing the top, I'm just going to make the same oval, but instead of seeing the top, we're just going to erase that bottom line. And now we're looking up at it. It has that little, what's that called? The little thing that goes turret? I don't know. Something like that.
A little thing.
Little thing on top. There's the bottom of it that we can see because we're looking up.
Watchtower?
Yeah, what's that called where there's like these little holes for the archers to stick out and shoot people?
I do not know that, and also I did not know that was what that shape was for.
I think so. I think it was for people to be able to attack without, exposing themselves to enemy fire.
And pour hot oil down.
Yeah. I give myself a little guideline. I know right now it looks like a tube from Super Mario, like a piranha plant should come out. But then we just add our little.
Where do you think he got the idea?
Yeah. We'll add a few of these. Again, the bottom of this is just going to be the same line as the curve below it. And erase out the top. So I've got my first tower. So let's say that one is this one over here. We'll say there was one right here. So now I know I've got a wall next. Well, that's easy. Wall. And then I've got another kind of round tower over there. Okay, so now I just have to make it again. Another round tower. With another thingy on top. Cut out the shapes that I see. And I've got my other tower thingy. What's above the tower thingy? Now I've got one of these cylinders with a pointy top. So easy enough. I can make my cylinder again, maybe a little skinnier. I'm still going to see underneath that roof or that top of the tower, so I'll still have something here. But instead of doing another curve on top, now we make it a point. And it's going to look like a little kid's toy because it's in a simple shape. So we have to look at a little bit of the details to figure out what makes it look more like a roof. One thing is little supports that kind of stick out to hold this roof up. Another thing, of course, is the roof tiles themselves. If we start putting in a little pattern of some kind, and this is a rooftop, that helps. And at least one of these towers usually has some little flag waving. So I get my bottom line, wiggle it. Don't go up and down, don't do that. I'm going to wiggle it side to side. Then we'll take every little curve up a little bit. Just take that bottom curve, add it to the top. After you do that side, curve goes up, goes up. Now look at my reference. What else am I missing? Windows.
This is like stairs, Betsy. We connect every.
Oh, the flag?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do it again. Here we go. So I've got a wiggly line.
Okay.
From each curve, I go up. Also the ends, because that's the end of the flag there, end of the flag there. Doesn't even matter how far you go up because you can erase whatever you don't need later.
Okay.
Then we just take whatever is here between these two lines and we copy it above.
We don't skip and we don't come down. It looks like you came down on that other one. Do you go lower on the next one?
Oh yeah, you do go a little bit lower. We don't want to make it all the way even. Since this curve is higher than this curve, we want to try to keep that same distance. So I'll take this one, put a little bit below that one.
Okay.
We can think of it as the same thickness. If this is this thick and I want that to be the same as that, and that to be the same as that. Same thing on the end here, even if it's curving upward, then just go ahead and curve it upward over here too.
Okay.
Then you just have these little peekaboo lines over here that just go straight up to show the other side of the flag.
Okay.
If the back side was blue, then we'd see the blue part here and the blue part here.
Got it. Got it.
All right.
Got it now. Hope I keep it.
So I start looking at my reference. I see windows. I see, oh, kind of a support thing below here too. Goes around. So even though it's not in the same perspective, I'm just taking the ideas, taking the shapes. I'll show you what I'm looking at here. This is a tiny reference. Can I get closer? Oh, wow, this document camera goes really close.
The thing is, Betsy, how doesn't it start tipping towards you? I mean, if you're seeing the top of this tower, but you're way below the tower, shouldn't you see the pointy part of the flag at all?
Pointy part of the flag.
If you're
Yeah, I
looking,
think you would a little bit, unless you're standing right at the base of the tower and looking straight up.
okay,
You might not see it, but I figure my character's kind of far away.
okay.
Whoa, giant pencil. So there's these curved like supports. That's what I was looking at. Like underneath our little Archer hot oil spaces. Then we've got some like supports on the bottom. So I'm stealing that idea, taking that shape. Ooh, let's back up some more, back up some more. There we go.
You did give us
Sticking it on the bottom here. So we have to show the thickness. So all of this will have thickness, since I can see the bottom of it. And you just keep going and going and going and adding more windows. Adding more texture. Maybe this is a brick texture. What else do I need? Oh, I need the little pattern along here. Drawbridge has some posts that go out with chains. For the drawbridge. Hopefully that'll make a little more sense, Michaela. I'm going to go ahead and show how I put this into my bigger drawing. These are basically my studies, just kind of seeing which shapes I want to take and put into my final drawing. Now we will put it into my final drawing. So if you want to follow me, that's great. If you want to do your own story, that's great too.
I'm more of a follower.
All right, you can follow me then. I'm going to grab a piece of paper here. Actually, maybe a regular piece of paper.
Best thing I ever bought.
That pencil sharpener. I'll just fold it. So let's look at my thumbnail again here. Zoom in. So we can see from the paper size, this panda is going to fill up over half of the paper. So that's going to take a big chunk of it right there. On my paper, let me zoom out so you can see the whole thing. There we go. I'm going to place my big panda blob really lightly, really loosely. Let me darken my camera way down so you can see what I'm drawing. My panda blob is going to go here. I just want to make sure that I have room for my little girl, so I'm going to put a little person representative right there. Maybe I'll put on the panda's head too. Body and head.
Did you look up actual pandas, or are you just doing cartoony panda?
I do have a reference of a walking panda, so he's going to look something like that. But he's also going to probably have a unicorn horn and wings, so not exactly a real panda.
Yeah, because you never really see like more like realistic pandas. They're always like cartoony.
True, true. But I figure my little girl is going to be kind of cartoony, so the panda will have to be somewhat cartoony.
I think it would be funny though if like the girl was cartoony, but the panda was realistic.
Like super realistic, yeah.
For the wings and the horn.
For sure. I want to be able to see the tops of the counters of the stalls. So my horizon line is probably going to be a little bit above half, maybe right there. So that when I place my vending stall over here somewhere, it'll be below the horizon line and I'll be able to see the counter. I've got one stall there, and then we're going to put the castle back here somewhere. maybe another stall over here. My thumbnail is so doodly, it's kind of open to interpretation. But that looks good. I'll have 2 stalls, castle. Oh, and maybe if we want to get super creative, we'll put like the beam of a super close stall right here. So this one will be way up close. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know yet. So we start with the fun part, our story, little girl riding panda. So let's get my panda reference here. Zoom in. Here we go. Oh, too bright. Can't see my pencil. Something like that. Okay. This panda bear has quite a bump of a back, like the slope on its back goes quite a bit more angled than I gave it credit for. So I'm going to angle out that back a little bit. Coming forward, and then the head dips way down. So I'm going to dip the head down. And just behind that bump of the back, we have these big black legs coming down. So I'm just going to use that to my advantage and just look at that black shape along the body. And then taking a step. Kind of a big, weird, complex shape, but the part that's along the body you can think of just as a stripe that's curving with the body. Once we get to the elbow, just like we've been learning in anatomy class, it's pretty straight. And then we have the paw, which is going to be that little section there. And then we can just curve it right back into that shape. Then the other foot, we'll only see just a tiny bit of the paw. I'm going to try to make it about the same shape as that one, or about the same size, maybe just a tiny bit smaller. And there's my panda's other foot. Then when we get to the back legs, we've got the back coming this way. And kind of like our lions, there's that little bit of a flat section right before we go down to the tail. And also similar to the lions, the back leg is going to come forward first, and then a little bit back. This back leg that's closer to me needs to be lower on the paper than this one. Otherwise, it's going to be like he's walking on a tightrope, like in a really straight line. So I'm going to make sure that this foot goes below this one, just by a little bit. Unfortunately, my picture cuts off. I can't see his back leg too well, but we're just going to make it up. A little bit of cartooniness there. Then his other back leg, since he's walking, I'm going to say it's going to stick out the back here. It'll be his panda toes. And then for the head, there's this big rectangle space of just white that goes from the cheek right up to the top of the head. So I'm going to block that off first and say there's the cheek or the jaw. All that's going to be white. And that's where the eye spot lines up with. So I'm going to stick in a line, not a line, an oval right there. And then we can have this line flow right in front of our panda's eye spot. Go out for a nose and connect right back up with that cheek. And we got the nose right on the end. Just gonna round off that little kind of bean shape. And if you want to give your panda a smile, you can put a little mouth coming up there. And then for the ears, we still have the line or the block. That was for this big white part. So the ears are going to go on the back side of that block. I'll just stick in a little bear ear here and another bear ear over there.
Hey, sorry, Betsy, I'm gonna have to leave for a few minutes.
Okay, we'll see you when you get back. Then we can put in the actual eye, which is going to be more near the top of the eye spot. And we'll leave that little bit of shine. And I wanted to make mine a unicorn panda, so I'm going to stick on a horn. And I'll divide up that horn diagonally, just like a candy cane with stripes. And between each set of lines, I just curve it slightly. And it'll turn 3D and twisted.
Mine looks a little bit like marshmallows stacked on each other. Let's see, maybe I'm not curving them.
Probably, yeah, if you make your horn like too straight that way, it'll look like marshmallows. You have to get that diagonal.
More diagonal. Okay.
Yeah, more diagonal.
The bubble horn. Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
I'm just low blood sugar.
Oh, got it. Oops, somehow I lost this panda's neck. I don't know how that happened. He's a rare type of short-necked panda, only found in the deepest wilds of this fantasy jungle. You could probably move the arm back a little bit and give him his neck back.
Well, still looks like it, but
Yeah, still looks short neck, but oh well, it's fine.
my unicorn.
Oh, your unicorn horn?
Yeah, now it looks like flattened marshmallows.
Flat marshmallows.
I have issues with stairs and curvy things. I get.
Let's see. Let me see this. Where's your?
Oh.
I'm pretty sure we can fix this. Oh yeah, it's just your lines are too close together. So let's do one together here. Cancel that. Let me put mine back on. Scrap paper.
It's falling off.
Yep. So you got your horn shape. It doesn't matter if it's a short horn, but
Okay.
each segment should be maybe. See, it's hard to judge when you have no real units of measurement.
Okay.
But trying to think of something with stripes this thick. Like the old-fashioned jail uniform, maybe?
Am I here? Have I got my stripes in the right spot?
Oh, yeah, let me just check yours. That's probably easier. Yes, I'm pretty sure that one will come out the best of your attempts.
Okay. Now just put curves on either side, right?
Yep, you just put curves on either side.
My curves are too horizontal. Maybe my too big of curves. Just a
Or it might be easier, it might be harder, I don't know. But if we've got our lines, instead of doing just one bump, you do a bump and then follow the line.
Okay. Bump and follow the line. Bump and follow the line. Okay.
Other side, you follow the line, do the bump. Follow the line, do the bump.
I don't know. We'll see. Still piles of turds, right?
Let's see, how'd that one come out? Yes!
Better?
In there, it's better, yes.
Okay. Fine, maybe I'll do
So just the part where it sticks into his head, where it's touching his head, that part we have to make a little bit wider and come below his headline,
Okay.
just so that overlaps a little more nicely.
Okay. Yeah, and I need to make the pointy part more even. Shouldn't be that hard, but it
But
is.
it is, it usually is.
Big Kayla, you can do horns all day long.
Probably.
You loser.
Oh, her thing is muted. She might have stepped out again. Then our little girl pose.
No, wait, sorry. Am I still muted? Sorry. I was
Yeah.
trying to answer
Yeah.
you, and I weirded me out.
Oh, blood sugar, you're not answering. I'm getting worried. Got it?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I said probably do unicorns all day long, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say, oh wow, why'd you say that? Was what I was saying.
Because we know. We
Oh, yeah,
see some of your My Little Pony stuff.
Yeah, with My Little Pony stuff, I tend to do less like that style of horn and more of like sort of like semi-curled unicorn horn, if that makes sense.
Oh.
Does your little girl back, or is she? No, she's ahead of your shoulder, huh? She's on the shoulder.
Oh, yeah. Let's see, where would she be riding? Probably on the back, huh? Yeah, we'll scoot
No,
her
I thought I blinked and was worried about the horn and missed you moving her. So.
Well, I want to put her somewhere where it makes sense. Let's see. She'd probably have her legs dangling here.
For a panda.
Yeah, we're gonna move her. We're gonna move her to the back.
Okay.
Okay, she's got her arms forward, so I'm going to sketch in some arms here. If the arms get too long trying to reach up to the shoulder, then just make them short arms and you can lower down your body more easily than trying to get long arms to look shorter. The other arm, gonna go on the other side of the body. Maybe there's some kind of handle she's holding because there's a girth strap around this panda. Or a rope. Then you can practice your twistiness some more.
Ah! Dang, you're scaring me. Okay, here we go.
So even though I put on this girth strap, her leg's gonna come right over the top of it. So I can sketch out from her back, swoop it, there's the rear end, keep going, there's the back of the leg. There's her little knee. And then erase everything out. I need my stronger eraser here. This one's just about out. And then we'll just have her little bare toesies. Not going to worry too much about anatomy here. Especially since it's supposed to be about the background. And I was going to get these characters in as fast as possible. Then to connect her head, I'm not going to go, straight up. Little kids don't have that good of a posture. I'm probably going to have to move her head. Probably going to be leaning a little bit forward. So the neck is going to go forward. And then I can put the head right on top of the neck. I'm just going to go around a bunch of times until I have something that's a little bit like an egg. And I'll put a guideline about halfway down. And rather than being the eye line, because she's a little girl, it's going to be her eyebrow line. So I'm going to put a little eyebrow there. And a little eye underneath that. With a little wedge. Little nose. Little smile.
Hey, Betsy, can I ask you like a unrelated question to any of this?
Sure.
Oh, hey, have you watched any more of that mermaid guy stuff?
No, I haven't had a chance yet. I went through and I put all the little watch later videos. I like added it to my watch later list. But I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, no.
Yeah. I recommend watching it. The story is interesting.
Yeah, I want to make sure to not read them, watch them in order so that I can see how this little story plays out. If you cut it halfway vertically, that's where the ear is going to begin, but it's going to stay underneath that eyebrow line and only be about as big as the nose. It's going to be a tiny little ear. And after we erase everything, we'll get something a little bit like that. We can do whatever hairstyle we want. She's got cute little pigtails, so I might just add cute little pigtails. Sketching out the hairline first. Add a little curve of a rubber band. And then doodle some squiggly shapes for some hair.
Hey Betsy, I have another unrelated question.
Mm-hmm.
You know how like when Disney makes a movie based off a fairy tale, then more often than not, whenever people like try to retell the fairy tale, they'll do it a lot of stuff based off of the Disney version.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen a good non-Disney influenced Beast?
Beast? Not really. In the older story, like illustrations, it's usually just an animal head on a person body. Like he just has the head of a boar, head of a wolf. Like there's nothing too creative in the way they put it together. So my favorite Beast is actually the Disney Beast.
Hey, yeah. Figure, because it. Yeah. Oh, that was weird.
I'm trying to think of something that is like the non-Disney version better, but
not just better, just like good. Like,
just anything good? I will keep my eye out. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Then we'll give her a little dress, kind of like the dress right in our reference. So I'm just going to put a neckline over the top there. And she's got like different colored sections, so I'll separate out that section, that section, that section. And then we're going to do something a little bit like the flag. No, not really. Because it's not.
Go ahead, I can do it. I can do it. Go ahead.
You can do it? Okay. We'll
Not
get.
doing a ponytail curl though. That's cute, but I'm not doing it.
You're not doing that. Okay. So we'll come with the skirt over her leg here. Do a little flag loop. And then go back onto the panda.
I can do it.
A real short smush little loop, and it's the same thing where we just take that end of the loop, make a little line going upward, a line going upward. There'll be a little fold in her skirt there. All right, we got our characters pretty much fleshed out. Let's do the hard part. You've got your characters, you have your idea, you have your doodles and your reference. Now what? I'm going to start with the thing that is usually in the empty space from my character. So my little stall over here on the left. Let me darken up my camera again so you can see. I've got this box where there's going to be a stall. Go back to my shape bank that I got. And see, I want it on a, where's my original thumbnail? Sometimes my original thumbnail has ideas that I forget about. Which way was this going? Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so it's going to be turn 3/4 view. So that means we're going to see, first let's clean it up so that you can actually see. We're going to be able to see the side and the front. So I'm going to start with how tall this is going to be. I don't have to worry about any perspective or anything. I just put how tall I want it to be. How tall do I want it to be? Well, it's behind the panda, which means it has to be higher than this foot. It can be all the way to here, but it needs to be higher than the panda's foot. So I'm going to go more like the top of the foot and say that's how tall my vertical line is going to be over here. How wide is this booth? I have to pick. I'm going to go to about there. So I've got my flat box. Then I'm going to decide how much of the side of this booth can I see. I'm going to say not that much, maybe that much. That's like a fifth, I think. That's going to be the side, that's going to be the front. Now I have to figure out my perspective lines. Oh, perspective. All I need to know is that horizon line, let's put an HL on there, horizon line. Since this is above the horizon line, it's going to be tilted. And I'm just going to pick a real subtle tilt.
It's going to be what? What did you say?
Tilted.
Okay.
And on the bottom, it'll be tilted in the opposite direction and more because it's farther away. I don't really care how much more, just more. Then we erase those triangles, and we're left with this. Next, I said I liked the slanted kind of canopy that came down in front. So if I have the middle part of the triangle, that what do you call it, that apex, right in the middle of this line, then my tent is going to fall this way and this way. Since it's right on the horizon line, it's actually going to be flat. Don't even have to worry about the tilts.
Is the tilt going up the same amount as the tilt going down? Or
No, when it's closer to the horizon line, it's only a little bit.
Okay.
And when it's farther away, it's a lot.
Okay.
A lot being like, what, 10 o'clock angle?
Yeah, okay.
Whereas my other one is like maybe 1.
Okay.
Then I'm going to take the top of my tent section, go all the way across. And we're just going to copy this line of the tent over here. Erase anything that's extra. And here's kind of where the fun part comes in. You go, okay, there's this thing holding up the tent. Well, let's show what's holding it up. Let's have this little stick come out a little bit. It's just a little cylinder, right? So we can put an oval on the end. And go, hey, now we can see what's holding up this awning. And we might have another one here because the awning is going to go vertically down from here. So we'll probably have another little stick sticking out right there. Probably can't see the other one because the hand is covering it. But now I can imagine how that cloth is being draped between these two sticks, comes around the stick, and then gravity takes it down. Whoosh. Now I'll just go straight across with my little scalloped awning until the panda covers it up and I can't draw anymore.
Does it get smaller or bigger? It stays the same.
In perspective theory, it'll get smaller, but we're not worried too much about it because it's not a 3D lens. We won't get a whole lot of distortion, so I'm just doing it straight across.
Got it.
Nobody will be able to tell. Then this post comes down, and I wanted this to be a sturdier post, so it's going to be a square one. So I need to see the front of this post and the side. So again, I'm going to chisel off just a little skinny portion of the side. I'll darken it in so you can kind of tell. Front section, side section. And when I get down here, the bottom is going to just follow the bottom of my building square. The side is going to be a little less than this one. So we're thinking of a clock again. If I go up, 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 up. The horizon line being the flat one. And I can just take whatever line is closest.
So we go, as we go down, we go the right side drops.
More angled, yeah. So we're going like this, tick, 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 tick. And we'll do the harder one where this goes into the countertop. So a little bit below this support, I'm going to add one more line. And then a little bit above that support, I'm going to add a line. So that's the top level. If I had an apple, it would be sitting right there. So now we need the height, the thickness. So I'll add one more line. And then this is going to wrap around to the side. So I have to follow the side lines there. Let's stick out a little bit. And this one will hopefully line right. Oh no, it won't line up with that one. It'll be higher than that one. This part's a little tricky. So if it gets too brain twisty, you just chop it off and make it a straight counter. Forget the L.
Hey, Betsy, I've got some concerns.
You've got concerns? Lay it on me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, hold on. Sorry. Mm, one thing I'm worried about is like the cities. Most of the cities I'm working off are incredibly detailed.
Yes, they are. So how do you go from an incredibly detailed reference? Is that the question?
No, it's more like I don't know how much detail should I put in because I mostly don't want to do something.
Here's what I'd use, my little tool for trying to figure out how much detail to put in. If your character walked all the way to that castle, how much detail would you be able to see of her?
What? I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Sure. So right now your character is way far away from the castle, right? Like your character is here, and then miles or somewhere off in the distance is the castle.
Yeah.
So if she hopped off this rock in her little bubble and rolled all the way into town, how much of her do you think you'd be able to see? Like, could you see her
Very, very
eyes?
tiny.
Like, could you see her eyes at that distance?
No.
No. Okay. So anything the size of her eye that would be on a building, don't draw. Would you be able to see her mouth?
No.
No. So anything the
I don't
size of
think
that,
you'd be
like
able to see
doorknob,
her face.
probably won't even be able to see her face, right? Would you be able to see her little silhouette, maybe?
It's small, like half, like I think less than half of that size.
Less than half of that size. So that means doorways, right, are going to be about that big,
Yeah, very small. Like now that I'm
right?
thinking about it, like yeah, the way I'm imagining this is huge.
So try to think of that though. Like if she walked all the way over there, let's say the doorway when she's right by it is huge, right? Like twice her height. So if she walks all the way over there and we have the doorway that's twice her height, it's going to be that big.
Ah,
So then you can say, okay, well, what if she was on the second floor inside here? Well, it has to be taller than the door, right? So she's in here. Maybe a window is from her shoulders to maybe that high. So that means a window is going to be that big. How much detail can you fit in that window? Probably not much. Maybe those little crossbar things, if it has it.
huh.
So since your castle is really, really far away, even if your references have a ton of detail, you have to think of it like your character. If your character walked all the way over there and you can't see much detail on your character, anything of that same size, you're not going to be able to see either. Let's say there's a huge spire thingy that's twisted like a seashell. Huge, right? How do we say that this is huge? The door is that big. The windows are that big. That's what kind of makes it a huge scale, if that makes sense. Not the details. The more details you put, the closer it's going to look.
That's a good point. Thank you for helping me.
You're welcome. Oh, I think Stephanie stepped out for a second. That's okay. I need a drink of tea.
I got the lawnmower guys here.
Oh, okay.
I want to make sure they use the lawnmower, not the weed whacker.
No problem. I'm going to work on my unicorn panda then.
You know, looking back at this and looking at it, and I'm thinking, oh, someone, I wanted to show it to you, but then I realized, oh wait, these sketches are very messy, and someone who is not me probably would not be able to tell what is exactly is going
What's
on.
going on? Yeah, yeah. Yep, it happens. If you get your big basic shapes in first, I might be able to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, you're back? All right, I was just...
I may be back for a minute.
Okay.
I think my head is tilted a little much. I don't know. Try to get that bell in there.
Yeah, I was just thinking of something else she could be holding. Because her little pony picture, the pony has a mane, and I'm pretty sure she's holding on to the pony's mane and she's riding bareback.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I put a little handle up there on her girth.
Yeah, like I don't know what she's holding on to over here, so I was trying to figure something out. Maybe a bell, maybe not. That's an awful tangent.
I like it though.
Ooh, put that over there. We'll put in a little bit of the castle next. Just like Michaela was pointing out, things that are at a distance, not that much detail. So let's say that I want the tallest tower to be, oh, excuse me, pointy one. Just get in my general shape first.
Oh wait, Betsy, can I show you something really quick that that is parsable?
Do you want me to pause recording?
No, it's fine. I've already shown this stuff on. Oh, post disabled screen sharing.
Whoops, let me turn that on for you. There you go.
Yeah, so I did the door thing. Oh, wait. Okay, so I did the door thing. Anyway, here's what the door, how big the door is compared to like the rest of the thing.
The door is where?
Like if like the size, basically like if like the door is like that, then it's like that big compared to like that castle.
Nice, okay.
So like I'm saying, it's huge.
Yes, super huge. So your details of like windows and doors are probably just going to be little dots and not that big. So probably your structural shapes, like you're already filling out that left portion with like some different what do you call them, like different levels, different turrets.
Yeah, like right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if it's that huge, so like the turret part, that middle part that has the ovals,
Where?
I know, I wish I could like point on your screen,
Points?
but I can't. Yeah.
I know.
just like
I was over here pointing. You mean that little dot?
Yeah, you know, right?
Oh, he was getting it.
The tower shape on the left. Yeah, that one. And in kind of the middle, there's that part with ovals.
this.
No, over to the left a little bit more, like taller ovals. Yeah, this part.
It's supposed to be like supposed to be a little more shell shaped, like you know, like your tower a bit, but it's like the details aren't there yet.
Yeah, that's fine. But I would just want to know if the ovals are going to be like the windowy negative space parts that are in your reference picture.
Yeah. Oh, whoops! I didn't mean to press that. I'm trying to open it up, but it's always like weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mostly based off of like this little shape right here.
Got it. Okay, cool, cool. So then you'll probably just need something that shows the scale of it, like like you have your doorway at the very bottom, which is great because then it shows how big the place is. But then,
Although I don't think that'll be final picture. That's just showing you how big I
oh,
imagine.
okay. So like the height of these pillars on each section, how tall would your character be if she were standing like in that section, like as tall as the door, like just a speck?
Yeah, it should be really small. It should be so small.
Like that. Okay, yeah. I just wanted to get a sense of scale. So then your details are going to be not that much. You're going to have to rely on like pillars, and I don't know if they have chimneys in this castle exactly, but like the entryways, they don't even need stairs. Trying to think of something else that'll show the scale. Maybe the fish will do it though. By the time you have the scale of your fish swimming behind, that might also help out with the scale.
Oh yeah, that is gonna that come in handy.
But yeah, since your shapes are already kind of skeletal in a way, you can almost just take what you need from your reference and not change it too much, since this is all underwater and all fantasy and all gigantic.
Ah,
I would even try, just as a test, like just copy and paste your actual reference into your file and just see what it looks like.
okay. Open his new layer. You can open up his new layer. Did you know that?
Yeah, exactly. Do that and see if it looks like it's too detailed at that distance.
Any word yet, Betsy, on when we're back in the?
Back in the studio, so far no go. I was told to just prepare as if we were going to only do Zoom,
Got
and
it.
I would be told later on when we get back in the studio.
Okay.
Wow, this is really, really big.
Yeah, just cut out that one tower and stick it in.
Oh yeah, you're right. I don't need it. Geez, can you believe like something like this was made for like a Photoshop contest?
Wow.
Yeah, the image is even bigger, by the way. I just like cropped to the point where it was mostly castle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just get your little dotted peanut tool. I don't know what it's called. Just lasso tool, I guess. And just take out the tower that you want and stick it in there and see if it looks too detailed, too close. A lot of it, I think, would be how blue, no, let's see, not how blue, like the atmospheric perspective. But we'll get into that later. First, we just draw the thing.
Yeah, one thing I imagine is like I imagine it's kind of dark because I imagine it's like a little deep, like not too deep where it's like super dark, but just like where it's like the lights coming from the castle, like sort of help you see it, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah.
Oh no, I lost it. There it is. There you go.
There we go. Just move that little guy right in there. Yeah, see, I mean, I believe that, being in the distance. But if it looks too close to you, then just keep shrinking it until it looks good, and then you'll get your approximate, like, I don't know, are those windows? We'll call them window size.
Huh.
Look good to you, or do you think it looks too close?
A little too close, but that's not a big. That's
Yep,
not.
go ahead and shrink it, and then just put it where the top of the tower would be.
Yeah, tower's kind of crooked. I originally did it on purpose
Sure,
because I thought it would be.
nice. If that doesn't look far away enough, then shrink it some more.
Yeah, that looks about right.
That looks about right. Cool. So you just keep that as a reference for how big your shapes are, and you can start filling in your shapes.
Yeah. Oh, I'll stop sharing now.
So only about, how much, 15, 18 minutes? We'll work on our castle a little bit here. So I want my tallest tower there, and looking at my reference, there's another tower over here. And maybe one of those round towers over here. Another round tower over here. And then one more layer. With another round tower here. Shorter round tower there. Another round tower there. First I doodle, get kind of the lay of the land here. Then we can start applying some perspective. Since my horizon line is flat, that means that this will have to tilt up a little bit. So my wall is tilted up. Then on the other side, I want it also tilted, but a little bit less, just like on the stall here. We have less of an incline. So this one's going to be flatter. So one steep, one kind of flat. Then we know anything closer to the horizon line is flatter, so the ovals for the towers that are lower are going to be flatter, and the towers that are higher up are going to be a little bit more rounded. Round one, this one's closer to the horizon line, so flat. This one's close to the horizon line, flat. Then we just erase the bottom of those ovals. Get some straight lines up and down here. Same thing with the bottom of the cones. If they're higher up, they're going to be taller ovals. If I had one way down here, it would be a flatter oval for my little ice cream cone. Upside down ice cream cone. And we get in here and we do the same thing that we did before with these walls. We started putting little notches. This line here is going to be the one that I put down here. Now I've got a really ugly tangent with this tower and the edge of this piece right here. So I'm going to move my tower over just a little bit. Same thing on the other side. I'm just taking that line from the top, putting it on the bottom. On the top of my cylinder tower, we have the thingy on top. I have to follow the curve of that oval that I already have. and go up a little bit. Do it again, curving that. And we've got our Super Mario plumber's tube here until we cut out those little sections. I'm going to make them even smaller than these to show that it's farther away.
I gotta check on the gardeners. I'll be back.
Okay.
Hey Betsy, random question.
Sure.
What's your favorite salad?
Salad?
Yeah.
My favorite salad, probably the one that has the little oranges. It's like Chinese chicken salad.
Never had that before.
It's usually got a little bit of sweetness in it from the oranges, which is what I like. If that's not available, usually like Cobb salads. Because I like avocado, so anything with avocado. If that's not available, pretty much anything with ranch.
What? Huh. Yeah, I'm asking because I recently have gotten into salad.
Oh, very healthy. Get your vitamin K.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some once this call is over, I'm gonna go and probably eat some like day old salad. My favorite thing in salad that you can put in, like one of my favorite things, is green onion.
Oh, really? Kind of a grown-up taste there. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I love it because it just adds like this extra little like taste at the end that just really makes the salad.
Nice.
Hey, nobody mowed my backyard. How come? I don't think my backyard got mowed. Okay. Front yard looks great. Okay, thank you. Bye, Lupe. Ay, ay, ay. Where'd I put my pencil? Guys are too fast.
Well, they're all the same steps, so I figured I'd just fill those in so you can see what it looks like.
Thank you. Here they come. They're good gardeners, but last time they left a big pile of leaves and
Oh, yeah.
they used the weed whacker instead of the lawnmower, so I still had straw everywhere for my rabbits.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so just a little tune up once in a while.
Yeah.
I'm right here. Shame on me if I don't say something, right?
That's right.
That's Michaela doing her digital thing, huh? That click, click.
Yep. Right.
Yeah, just looking up like references and stuff.
Boy, it's hard not to do tangents with all these little lines everywhere.
Yep.
How are you going to make the panda black? The
Oh,
black.
yeah. Let's do that. Well, since we only have a few minutes left here, we might as well color in our panda.
Oh, there's the toes. That's how you do the toes.
Yeah, I did the toes.
Oh, yeah, I lost his ear in one of the flags. Huh.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like the bell around the neck.
I do too.
Cute.
Mine's kind of caught in between his chins, but I like it. So we're just shading it in.
Yep. Faster if you lay your pencil down flat instead of, coloring with the point. But it does give you that texture. If you don't like the texture look, don't do it. Okay, that piece of paper under here.
I figured like if you do it by the points, then it just ends up looking bad anyway. Especially if you have to do so much. With such
Yeah,
a
when you
small
have to do a really large area and you get tired halfway through, it usually shows up. The tail's black?
Yeah, is it black in the picture?
Well, the picture cuts off before it gets to the tail. So let's take a look. I can't ask Siri because I turned him to Korean so I could practice my Korean, but I don't know how to say that in Korean, so now I gotta type it out.
Are you going to Korea, Betsy?
Someday after Corona's all over.
I have a friend from there.
Oh, nice.
We were going to go, but she couldn't wait till I retired.
Oh.
Because she had a special birthday in Korea. There's a special birthday.
Oh.
Yeah, and she wanted to go back on her special birthday.
Well, I'm getting two different results here. These guys have white tails, but this little baby booty has a little dark spot where his tail is. So I guess it's up to you if you want to make it black or not. I think I'm going to make it black. It'll look good.
Whenever I think about pandas, I think of like the panda from We Bare Bears.
Oh, yeah. What color's his tail?
I think it's... Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, isn't it strange? It's like I've seen them so many times.
Maybe it's like puppies. Some spots are someplace and some don't.
Yeah, that could be. Open his nose. I don't know if you can believe it, but only one more story art class next week. And that's
Wow.
the end.
You know what I did, Betsy, on his back foot?
Mm-hmm.
I put the pads.
Oh, good idea. Let's put
It
some.
looks cute on mine.
Yeah. No pads in there. And of course, you can stick in the shadow if you want to show that foot hovering in the air. That foot touching the ground.
That shadow thing made Kristen's pop.
Yeah, that really showed that
Idea, yeah.
lady in midair.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Betsy, I don't think she's gonna be finished by the end of the art class.
Yeah, I kind of figured that, but that's all right. Hopefully you guys learned some things, or at least had some fun thinking up stories.
Oh yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
feel like I learned stuff.
Cool.